Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Fancy That podcast. And with you, we are your hosts, Ishti and Ashik.
Hey,
So, on our last episode, we actually talked about how to attract a relationship. So, welcome everyone to this episode in which we invite you all to take a deep dive with us into the discussion of how to attract a relation step by step. So, Ashik, what do you think can attract a girl towards a boy?
first of all, thank you for inviting me to this show again. Thank you to the audience for tuning in. And as we were saying, let's go through step by step on how to actually attract a girl. So, first of all, I'm going to tell you a few things that everyone needs to know. It's not just like about attracting a boy or a girl, it applies to anything. The first thing that you need to do is specifically take a paper and a pen, write down exactly what you want. So you might be wondering, why do I need to go through that? It's kind of, it sounds childish, right? But it is exactly what I did. So
Okay.
I know that it works, and I saw many other people doing that. So first thing that you need to do is exactly decide. You need to know what you want. And there are a couple reasons for that, but the thing that you need to do is basically take a paper and a pen and take two sides of the paper. First side, you have to write down all the things that you want, like let's say 10 to 30 points. Imagine this is a perfect world, and then write down everything that you want in the person you want to attract, whether that is a boy or a girl.
The
And
perfect dream girl.
exactly, it doesn't even have to be a girl. If you are a girl who's listening to this show, if you want to attract a boy, do this thing and it will work, trust me. So first thing that you do is write down the 10 things, not 10, 30 to 40 things, whatever you want. Okay, don't hesitate, write whatever comes to your mind. Write the things that you want. On the right side, you write down all the things that you do not want. There are things that might be something that you totally hate.
Definitely.
Like
that's
probably you don't probably like a toxic person. I don't know. Probably you might like a toxic person. I don't know. Right? So you know what you want. Write down what you do not want on the left. Write down what you want. Exactly opposite. Write down what you want on the left. Write down what you do not want on the right of the paper. Then what you do is rank the most important qualities that you want. So the most important qualities might include, I don't know, whatever you want, but choose 10, because in a realistic world you might not be able to get all the 40 or 30 points that you want. So you have to choose what are the top 10 priorities that you need, that you absolutely must need in that person. So you write that down in a ranking format, like number 1, number 2, number 3. So you know exactly what you want. And the same thing for what you don't want. You write down what you don't want in the second column and rank them, that these are the things that you absolutely do not want or cannot stand. And the reason is that there are two reasons basically. Like there is a relationship coach, there is a life coach named Tony Robbins. He says that what you focus on, you attract. So for example, if you're driving a car, your dream car, before you got that car, you might feel like nobody has that car that is so precious to you. But once you buy that, you would see that everyone around you is almost driving that car. You are really focused on that thing. So whatever you focus on, you attract. That is not like something magic or something. It is natural. Whatever you focus, you attract. That is the first point why you need to write down what you want. The second reason is that after you get someone, if, let's say you really attract that person in your life, then you have to actually there might be a situation when you might feel that, is this person right for me? Or maybe you see her friend and then you feel like, I should have attracted that person. That won't be a problem if you use this procedure, because you know that what you attracted is exactly what you wanted. So if you know what you want, after you attract that, you would feel like, okay, this is what I wanted. this is what I know I want. So I'm glad that I attracted this person and I'm grateful for it. That is basically the reason why you want to write down specifically what you want. And another part that you can do with this task, this actionable step, is write down a letter to that person whom you haven't attracted yet, whom you don't know who that person might be. You write down a letter mentioning all the characteristics why you like them or love about them. If you write that letter, you are imagining that person is already with you, and you're sort of like happy to be in a relationship with her already, even though you don't know who that person might be when she's gonna come in the future. But these two things really works. It worked for me, it worked for a lot of other people.
So at a point when you actually find that girl, actually you will feel so lively that all the points you wrote down in your letter actually yeah, gets totally submerged within that girl, and you find all the activities in her. So you will exactly know that it is that person you're looking
exactly
for.
yep That's the fun part.
Yeah, just like when we used to go to Pizza Hut and have the golden surprise, we always knew what we want, so we never had any regrets after eating that we could have taken something else. Okay, so now as we've come to it, um, uh, there is a different taste. Like, what if the girl that you attracted or that you have already approached, what if that girl has some other likes for the guy that she wants to date? What if you don't have that ability or that trait in you?
Okay, so there is this common thing that should I change for another person? Well, that is something for another episode. But in
Yeah, we'll
short,
get to that.
in short, you should. In fact, you are not changing yourself for another person. You are becoming the best version of yourself. So that's the thing that we do when we go to the gym or eat healthy. We are becoming the best version that we can be. We are not changing ourselves, we are just becoming better. So now you know what you want from the first step. The second step, you don't know what the girl wants. But there are a few things that every girl, almost every girl wants. And you can find them out, or you can change yourself into that kind of things. For example, you need to know how to talk to women. If you don't know how to talk, then you have no chance in, right?
Yeah,
You cannot
I've
even
seen a
approach
lot of
someone.
guys with that problem. I've seen a lot of guys with that problem.
So one thing that you need to know is kind of a cliche, is that you have to become someone who is confident. I'm not saying you have to be a confident, like, um, a mafia boss or something, not that kind of confidence. You need to have a minimum confidence level, but that's another thing. You have to become the person you want to attract. That is the main thing. So you know what are the qualities you want in that person. Your next step is to try to become the person who you want to become, who you want to attract. Okay, so that is because, for example, if you're someone who wants to attract a confident lady in your life, an alpha woman. So if you are a beta man who cannot even talk to women, who don't have confidence in anything or within confidence in himself, then even if you attract someone who is super attractive, supermodel, that person won't remain attracted to you for very long. That person will leave you because you are nothing like that person. So if you want to attract someone, you know what you want to attract, then try to become that person. So you take your list and try to see the characteristics if those are in you. If not, then try to gain those characteristics. Okay? So these are the things that you have to do. You have to become the person whom you want to attract. There are a few things that everyone has, everyone probably needs to have, like confidence and stuff like that. But specifically, you have to get those characteristics that you want in the other person to have. So that would be your step 2.
Okay, so on that note, how do you actually approach? How do you actually get to her?
Well, so that would be your third step that you need to know to
Okay,
actually attract that person. Now, as I said, you need to have that minimum confidence to actually approach someone. You might
okay,
see that there are a lot of people, a lot of guys who are not quite nice or good as people. They're what you call fuck boys.
okay.
They tend to get a lot of girls, okay, what do you call the bad boys, and many guys complain that all the
Yeah, girls
ladies.
girls don't even seem like just even if they do know about the situation, they still don't care. They're just totally
Exactly,
meant for them.
it's totally psychological because the guys whom we call bad boys or fuck boys and stuff like that, ladies are naturally attracted to those guys. I'm not blaming them. It's not personal or anything, but it's totally psychological. Women are more emotional creatures. That's what they are made. That's how God made them.
Definitely.
I don't know why, but that is the reality. Guys are more like logical and stuff like that. So if the guy knows how the emotion dynamics work, then they're more likely to attract the women. So unfortunately, the fuck boys and all, they know how that works. So that's why we're basically doing this show, right? To tell you how this exactly works. So what you need to do is to cultivate within you minimum amount of confidence to actually go and talk to the girl you like or have a crush on, maybe any girl. So
Okay.
how you get that quality, I'll talk about that a bit later. The point is, you need the minimum courage to go and talk to the person who catches your eye. Do not care if that person is married or has a boyfriend and stuff like that. Obviously, care if she's married, like see if she has a ring on her ring finger. Um, but do talk to her. Start practicing by talking to a lot of women. So, and you might wonder that, okay, if I go and talk to random women, they might feel insecure or maybe feel like I'm a weirdo. But no, if you are an honest person, if you go and talk to a woman honestly, then they appreciate it, believe it or not. You have to know how to go and talk to women. And even if they're strangers, if they're not strangers, then that is awesome. But even if they're strangers, feel free to talk to people. So that is the minimum thing that you need to do. Now, what do you talk when you approach? Okay, people are like, you need to know some um, common things or common topics to talk about. But no, you just go and talk. It's good if you know what the other person is interested in. For example, if someone is wearing a football player's jersey, then you know that she is interested in football. I don't know, but
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
just an example. Okay, but even if you don't know anything about the person, just go and talk to him or her. Just say hi and ask for their name. Okay, ask for her name, or maybe just, I don't know, start with a compliment, like you look good and stuff like that. Okay, people think that this is like too much to do, giving a compliment, but stuff like that. But it really works if you're honest. If you're like trying, some people are like, they go up to people and then start with pickup lines. Pickup lines don't work. Pickup lines don't work. You just, if you're trying to give someone a compliment, a genuine compliment, and you're honest, that's perfectly fine. But if you start with the pickup lines, those don't work. That
Yeah, the person has
shows the,
to feel the comfort.
exactly, yeah. And they have to understand that you are being honest. Sometimes when you're using pickup lines, you're not genuinely honest. But if you're honestly talking about how he or she looks good, if you like something about him or her, start with a compliment. That doesn't hurt. That's the point. But it might be too much to ask if you are someone who's introvert or don't have that social security or confidence
Confidence.
yet. But that can be built up, that can be cultivated. I learned it. I had to learn from scratch. I had to learn from zero. As I said in the last episode, I could not talk to women, let alone the women who I had a crush on. I would stammer. I don't know. It was a
Just
weird
stand there
situation.
looking at her.
It's exactly not even that. It's like not even looking at that. It just look down and stuff like that. But you have to
feel her presence.
That's totally weird. That sounds weird. No. What do you mean feel her presence?
That she's around, and that should give you a wide range of music in your background and take you to a different world.
No,
A
it
different,
took me to the dark world because I would not feel confident and stuff like that. So if I'm like confident and if I know how to talk to people and I understand that this is totally normal, then that background music and stuff come in. But if I don't know how to talk to women, that would be like a nerve-wracking situation, right? So,
definitely.
so it can be learned. I had to practice. I can create, like, we can create another whole episode on how to talk to women and stuff like that, probably in the future. But you have to have the minimum confidence to go and talk, go and say hi. What happens from that? That's totally out of, like, that's the question for different time. But you have to know how to go and talk to women. You have to say hi and ask for a number. Even if that is too hard, it's just you have to go and say hi. What you do later, I'll talk about later.
Though it's all about probability, that not
it's
100% times you'll be successful, but it will work. You just need to go on running with it.
I forgot to mention, this is all a numbers game. If you approach 100 women, let's say 10% success rate, let's say you are someone who not anybody like. Okay, nobody likes you. If you're someone like that. But even if that is the case, if you approach 100 people, 10 of them would be interested in you, even if you're that kind of a loser. And if 10 people respond to you, there would be a probability that at least one of them would be interested in going on a date or second date with you. So it's all a numbers game. Give it a shot.
Okay. So the point is, we had a long verge of talk about how to attract a girl, but it would be so one-sided if we don't talk about how to attract a boy. So I think that should be a topic for our next episode. On the verge of the topic, how to attract boys from our own point of view, what we like, and how would we like to be attracted by the girls. So until then, for the next episode, we will be signing off. Today we were your hosts, Ishti and Ashik. See you guys on the next episode. Thank you for joining us today.